to do a detailed, thorough investigation, the cause of the incident, whether there were any human elements, whether there was any negligence, and then based on their report, we can take it up. But immediately, our principal focus and our main focus is restoration of power. And the chief executive of GRIDCo, the chief executive of VRA, all those who matter are here, and I've charged them to work 24/7. They've indicated that they're going to work 24/7 with different gangs. The first objective is to evacuate Unit 1 by close of today. What they will do is that they will isolate the power and feed it into the system. I've asked them to proceed without compromising safety, without compromising standards and best practices. And so we would continue to work. Let me appeal to Ghanaians. Yes, there's a major explosion which resulted in a major fire incident. Be that as it may, we intend to overcome that challenge, and we'll work around the clock to overcome the challenge.
How soon? Is the first time we're having such explosion?
I'm told it's not the first time we've experienced an explosion, but this fire, the level of the fire is quite severe and serious. And so the question is that, how long did it take for the fire to be extinguished? Could we have responded much earlier? These are issues that the committee will come up with.
Earlier, we heard you saying you've also asked that we do an overhauling of all energy sectors or units.
Now, what we do is that periodically we do a systems audit of our units to ensure that everything is up to date. But I'm saying that following this incident, I'm ordering an emergency overhaul and audit of all our systems once again to ensure that all the systems are robust, not just the power sector, but also the petroleum sector.
Without prejudice, what could happen to anybody found culpable in case somebody is involved in this?
Let the results come. Let we get the report, and I assure you that we'll follow the report to the letter.
For us, what we'll be interested in will be when will power be restored to these affected communities?
I said that from today. Their target is that by the close of today, they will restore the first unit and continue through that process.
Thank you so much, sir. So that was the Minister for Energy, and he's been telling us about his briefing, and he has also been monitoring the extent of damage to the substation here at Akosombo, and this substation will be critical because it's one of the main switchboards to the Akosombo Dam. I just want to get closer and speak to one more person from the officials from GRIDCo. Chief, can we speak to you? Okay. Chief, we just want to pick your thoughts briefly. Following your briefing, what was said about the whole briefing? What do you know so far?
Well, what I know is that there was an unfortunate fire incident which has affected the control room of the plant. This is unfortunate, but engineers have been working all across the night so that we'll quickly restore the generators as quickly as possible. Thank you.
I'm interested in also knowing what this will mean financially, the extent of damage. What would it mean financially also?
So, as the minister said, a team has been constituted to look into it. It is when the team finishes its work that we'll be able to assess. Right now, the fire has been put out and restoration efforts are on. Assessments are going to be done to say it's not every equipment in there that is spoiled. Some of them will still be working. And so it is after a thorough analysis that we can know the cost.
Thank you so much, sir. So what you notice will be that officials from NADMO are present here on site. You will also notice personnel from the VRA also present on site. And you also notice personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service all present on site to ensure that the incident is quite savage. What you'll be seeing also will be the incident side. This will be the fire side. And this is the main control board for one of the main control boards for the Akosombo Dam. And this is the GRIDCo substation. I'd want us to get closer and just get a peek of what the extent of the damage will be. This will be the site for the incident, and this is one of the main sites, the Akosombo substation. And I just want to get closer. And Chief, can we talk to you briefly? You're live on JoyNews.
No, please, I'm coordinating, so I can't even talk to you. I'm coordinating. So you
very well. Okay, so let me get closer, and he'll be giving me a cup. Chief, can you take me through? Can you take me through? We just want you to explain to us.
It's somebody's job. I'm going to do for the president.
Very well, but then let's get inside and get the reactions and what the extent of the damage will be, and I'll be taking you through what the extent of damage will be. This is the control room for the Akosombo substation, and what you'll be seeing will be the extent of the damage, the fire incident that happened yesterday. And this fire incident has resulted in power outages in Akosombo, Volta region, some parts of the Volta region, Tema, and you'll notice that it has been doused. That's according to the Ghana National Fire. They've told us that they've doused the fire, and they are trying to ensure that power is restored to all the affected sites and affected communities. But for now, this is what we can give us update as to what has been happening here at the Akosombo substation.
And that was Stephen Mensah from the Akosombo substation giving us an update of the extent of damage there and also interacting with the Minister of Energy and Management of GRIDCo. Now, President John Mahama has announced that an emergency center built at Bema Camp during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic will be repurposed and equipped with beds to handle only emergency cases as part of efforts to address the no-bed syndrome, speaking during an inspection of reconstruction works at the La General Hospital. He said the facility at Bema Camp will be staffed with emergency doctors and nurses to stabilize patients.
We're going to re-award it so that we can finish it quickly and then create more bed space. Accra is a fast-growing city, and so the population demands quality health care. And so we'll do everything possible to make sure that we complete this project so that we can afford good quality health care for our people. In the meantime, we discussed with the minister to see how we can sort out the issue of emergency hospital beds when people have an accident or they have a medical incident, most of the time at night. Finding a place for them to be treated has been difficult. And so there's the emergency center which was built in Bema Camp during the COVID period. We're going to repurpose it so that it has beds for handling only emergencies. And so if there's an emergency and a person is not accepted at any of these hospitals, the emergency center in Bema Camp will be there. The emergency nurses and doctors will be there to stabilize the patient. Once the patient is stabilized, then we can move them to a regular hospital. And so the ministry is taking action to prevent needless deaths due to the no-bed syndrome.
The La General Hospital was demolished in July 2020 after a structural audit declared it unsafe, with plans to replace it with a 160-bed, 6-story facility. However, the project faced significant delays, including funding constraints, leaving the site abandoned for years. Reconstruction of the facility started in January 2024. President Maame says the new reconstructed La General Hospital is now expected to be completed by November 2027.
2 weeks, we launched the primary health care program. And I think that program is very important because it will prevent people from coming to hospital and be hospitalized, because it has a preventive aspect to it. It will educate people how to look after their health so that you don't always have to come to hospital when you need a cure. It's better, they say prevention is better than cure. And so the primary health care would check your blood pressure, it will check your sugar level, it will check all the free breast cancer screening and all that, so that we're able to catch things at an early stage, so that you don't need to be hospitalized, so that we can ease the pressure that currently our health workers and our health facilities are facing. So contractor, thanks for a good job. We'll be back here in November 2027 to take over this hospital. And I'm sure that the people of La and surrounding areas on that day would be very happy.
The Attorney General has proposed an exemption for key government health and education institutions under the Anti-LGBTQI bill. The proposal comes at the back of concerns over the bill's attempt to prohibit the funding, sponsoring or promoting acts that promote activities of LGBTQI. The matter came under scrutiny during the stakeholder engagement on the bill, where institutions like Schwarz, health advocates and others argue that the move may have implications on healthcare and public sexual education that may not be intended to promote LGBTQI matters. Addressing the matter today, Chairman of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee, Maame Shaibu, says the AG intends to provide an exemption for those institutions.
Having to be roped into this. And so the AG is proposing an exemption clause, just so that we make it very clear that the AIDS Commission, the Schwarz, all the other bodies, will continue to do their work as mandated by their various enactments. And so those are the ones who consider after we reclined, that's after lunch. And so we are confident that we have interpretation to look at. We should clearly be thinking of the definitions that align with the object and the content of the bill. So without much ado,
my colleague James Aveji joins me from Fiesta Royal. So James, there's another controversial issue over which ministry should be the implementing agency for the bill. Tell us more.
Yes, Maame. So the committee is split between whether this should be under the AG or the Ministry of Gender and the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. It first started with what duration it should take for a government to implement this. The minorities, Reverend John Ntimfojo, believes that after the passage of the bill, within 1 year, the implementing authority should be able to draft an LI to begin implementation. But they believe that this must be under the Attorney General because this is coming as a legal issue and criminal, trying to prevent people from committing what may be deemed as criminal activities. And so the Attorney General must be the implementing agency for this. We can listen to Reverend Ntimfojo as well as the ranking on the committee, Hassan Tampoli.
Now that the Speaker has given us indication that in about 3 weeks when we reopen, it is going to be passed with alacrity and with the diligence and magnanimity of our chairman, Honorable Mahama, we will be able to see this passed before the end of May. And then once the President ascends to this before the end of June, within this year, so within 1 year, we should that will clock the bill with the necessary implementation strategies to be able to
thank you so
be able
much.
to see it running, so that we clamp down on these absurdities.
Thank you.
Crime. At the core of it is about regulating behavior to avoid the commission of an offense. So much as we are talking about family values and all of that, but it's also, a criminal enterprise that we are trying to proscribe. And I think that the Attorney General should be the lead person to deal with this matter.
Well, James, what was the chairman's decision on this?
The chairman, Maame Shaibu, however, believes that because what is at the core of this value is about the protection of family and social values, the implementing agency must be the Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
No LI that comes through, that Parliament is seized with, that has not passed through the AG. So that is a given. It doesn't matter whether the title is children, it is this. Otherwise, we could have just said the Children's Act, which is basically enforceable things under the AG, should have gone through the AG. Yes. So please. Let's be very clear. The fact that AG does a drafting and then the rest of that does not mean this bill should go under their care. They are by law supposed to, these bills and LIs are all supposed to pass through the AG before they come to Parliament. So even if they are drafted from a different department, they will still pass through the AGs. There is no bill or LI that Parliament is seized with that does not pass through the AG before getting into Parliament. So with that one, I think that we should still leave this human sexual rights, family values, purely under the care of the Ministry of, the legalities and stuff notwithstanding. I think we should still leave it under that ministry.
James, just before you leave us, generally, where are we now with the process?
Well, Maame, just as some few minutes before I join you, the entire stakeholder consultation has come to an end here at the Royal Fiesta Hotel. And amendments have been sorted from all of the groups, both government and private sector, who are proposing different amendments. But as far as the minority is concerned, they want this bill, when it gets back to Parliament, to be passed under a certificate of urgency because of the emotions that all Ghanaians attach to it and the readiness of the president to sign it into an act when it gets onto his table.
Right. Thank you, James, for that update. Ghana's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Zita Saba Mensing, is pushing back against demands by some Ghanaian PhD scholars for stipends despite completing their programs and in some cases already taken up teaching roles. She revealed that the government owes an estimated £5 million in outstanding PhD-related obligations, even though some beneficiaries have finished their studies and secured jobs. The affected cohorts had threatened a protest earlier this month to push for payment, but to no avail. Speaking on PM Express Business Edition, the High Commissioner argued that such actions place an undue burden on Ghanaian taxpayers and undermine accountability in scholarship administration.
We have people who completed their course maybe in 2023, but they claim that the award letter promised to give them stipends, and so government owes them stipends. But they were supposed to have completed in 2023, but they're still here asking for stipends. In fact, the PhD cohorts, we owe them about £5 million, which includes tuition and stipends. And the leadership, if you look at the leadership of the PhD students, at least once I met when they threatened to protest last week, which was, is it 17th April? Yes, they have completed. The PhD, the leadership that I met, the president, my own good friend Bansa, he's completed his defended his thesis. His colleagues have completed, but they are waiting for stipends. And some of them have even started working already. They are already teaching in universities here, but they are waiting for taxpayers' money to offset their stipends for them.
Express Business Edition, the High Commissioner argued that such actions place an undue burden on Ghanaian taxpayers and undermine accountability in scholarship administration.
Why I believe the new law, Section 31 of the new law, the Scholarships Act, is good, because for situations like that, if you decide to stay here and teach, then you have to refund the money that we've spent on you. Because I feel that if you've completed and you are working here, you shouldn't even be asking for old stipends, because you're supposed to go back and serve, because it's taxpayers' money that we use to fund these things. So if the taxpayer funds you to come and study, and you have no intentions to come and impact the knowledge that you gain here to build our own nation, and you decide to stay here, and then you continue to say that we promised to pay you stipends and we haven't paid, so we should use more of taxpayers' money to pay that stipends off, when you know very well that you are now settling here, you've gotten a job here, you are not coming back, but you still want taxpayers' money to fund your life. That is not right.
Ghana's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has issued a strong call to African leaders to rise and condemn the growing wave of xenophobic attacks in South Africa. According to him, a united front by the continent's leadership will send a clear and uncompromising message to perpetrators that Africa stands together and that such acts of violence and division will not be tolerated. Speaking at a Ghana-Sierra Leone cooperation meeting in Accra, the minister described the situation as worrying, warning that the escalating tensions pose a threat not only to affected individuals but to continental unity.
All of us as African leaders must condemn that. And we must remind those fringe elements who are in the extreme minority that they cannot divide us, that we remain united in our common struggles, in our common destiny, and that our solidarity is unshaken, is unbreakable, and we will continue to band together as Africans. And that is why we will continue to hold more PJCCs with our African brothers and sisters, and we'll continue to roll out policies that are forward-looking to attract more Africans. And that's why you heard President Mahama recently, during the state visit of President Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe, announce that next month, when Ghana rolls out a new e-visa policy, Africans will not be charged any fees.
Meanwhile, Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa, Benjamin Ananiquashi, says authorities have been intensified to identify and apprehend those responsible for the attacks in a bid to restore calm. He spoke on JoyNews' Prime. Take a listen.
Security briefings, they've told us that there's a political undertone to whatever is happening. They have told us that in the days to come, they are going to let the whole world know those that are behind the attacks, their political colorations and their objectives or aims in doing what they are doing. They've not arrested anybody currently, but I can assure you that they have told us that they have the cameras, the CCTV footage of everything that has happened, and they are going to review them and ensure that the right sanctions are applied to people who have broken the law.
He further disclosed that police have issued firm warnings against taking the law into one's own hands, particularly over immigration and visa-related grievances, stressing that the appropriate state institutions have been mandated to address such concerns.
The police chief in the KZN area has indicated that individuals or citizens who have not been trained or sanctioned to stop foreigners, ask them about their passports, ask them about their legality in the country. He has frowned upon it and indicated to the South African public that it is not the duty of citizens to demand that the officers in charge or the officers that are responsible to be in charge of those have been asked to do their work, and that people should stop attacking foreigners and asking them for documentations. And I think that this is in the right direction. They have given us that support, and we are grateful for that.
The Electricity Company of Ghana is assuring of complete improved power supply in the Ashanti region within the next 6 months, following recent significant disruptions that have impacted economic and social activities. Managing Director of ECG, Engineer Kwame Pepena, says the company is undertaking some immediate and long-term major system upgrades, including upgrade of distribution lines between its bulk supply points and substations, and additional installations of at least 300 transformers. GRIDCo reports.
Managing Director of the Electricity Company of Ghana, together with a team from the head office of the company, have been on a working visit to the Ashanti region, assessing the region's recent power challenges. Many parts of the region continue to experience intermittent power cuts, consequently impacting businesses and household activities. But under its 3.46 billion cedi capital investment program, the ECG is undertaking critical power infrastructure upgrades to guarantee sustained and reliable power supply to the region. Although the projects are ongoing, General Manager for Special Projects at ECG, Engineer Frederick Kwabnabediako, explains some challenges delaying their early completion.
We have started overhead going up with those towers that you see. What is going to happen is that we are going to put conductors on them, and because of the fact that we are sharing the same right of way with GRIDCo, if you cast your eyes also, GRIDCo is also expanding into a double circuit with bigger towers, and it means that our towers are also interfering with their towers. So we had to sit down with them and plan, and that is the reason why this work has delayed a little bit.
However, Managing Director of ECG, Engineer Kwame Kpekpena, is positive of an improved power supply in the region within the next 6 months as they undertake some immediate power infrastructure upgrades.
We are injecting 65 transformers immediately in the network, 65, but immediately. But by the time the program is over, Kumasi will have between 300 to 400 new distribution transformers in the network. Big ones, we are replacing 2, and that will be done before the end of May with 2 big transformers at the Ridge substation. This particular project falls part of the 1-year program that we are doing. The work on the Anumaso to the Kase substation, we expect to complete that within 3 months. So each of the project and its specific timeline. But by the end of this process, in fact, within 6 months, residents in Kumasi should start seeing real improvement in the power supply.
Commending the company for its intervention to resolve the power challenges, Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amakohene urged management to expedite works to improve power reliability.
We should keep it up and even intensify it. If we know there's a planned maintenance to be undertaken, let us have the information early so that we are not lost in terms of people having to complain. Meanwhile, there's a problem of maybe their transmission lines or their poles, or there's a fire, or there's some problem that needs attention.
Meanwhile, the ECG says plans are underway for the construction of a 3rd bulk supply point as they search for funds to begin works. For JoyNews, my name is Emmanuel GRIDCo.
This is JoyNews Today. We'll take a break. We'll be back with business.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it dey carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it dey make water dey flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
When I was young, I asked my mother the secret of hair vitality and health. She said, the right food, the right exercise, the right amount of sleep, and the right blood tonic. Nescafe Blood Tonic is effective for the treatment of anemia, lack of appetite, and stressful conditions in both adults and children.
Nescafe Blood Tonic, the right family blood tonic. Another quality product from Ernest Chemists. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Many thanks for staying with us. I am Michelle Ejekum. Let's settle for some business stories. And to our first story, the Ghana Chamber of Mines says some of its members are negotiating the possible transition of some services operated by foreign companies in the mining sector to indigenous companies. This follows recent reports that the Minerals Commission has directed companies such as Newmont, Anglo-Gold, Ashanti and others to cede some services of their mining operations to local contractors or face sanctions. Engineer Ken Ashigbe is the chief executive of the chamber, and he has been speaking on the sidelines of the launch of the Grinding Media Standards, an initiative held in collaboration with the Ghana Standards Authority to enforce standards in the sector.
About contract mining. It's an engagement that has been going on between MINCOM and our members and even ourselves. The chamber has been involved. There's a conversation going on where between us and the Minerals Commission, and there are various dynamics to all of this. And so when you get somebody tell you one thing and then you slap all of that down as if the Minerals Commission is coming down, is going to shut down mines and all of that, then you lose it, and I think that it's important that for all of us as journalists, we look into that and put some of these things into better perspective. The thing about it is that there's a conversation that currently is going on between myself and the CEO of the Minerals Commission. There's a government policy in there, but again, how do you do it? You need to do it in such a way that is not disruptive, and so as an industry, it's something that we it's not as if we're against, it's not as if we're pushing back, it's not as if the Minerals Commission is saying I'll shut down your mine. If that's not what it is. So there's a conversation that is going on, and we believe that we will be able to get to a point where we'll be able to get to a win-win where the mines would also be effective, because you need to make sure if you're going to get a contractor, you get a right contractor. It does not affect your efficiency. It does not then, because again, when it's inefficient, what then happens is that you reduce the profitability of the mine. When you reduce the profitability of the mine, government CIT also is going to be impacted. So there's a conversation going on. We'll continue that conversation.
Away from that, the Energy Commission is in talks with relevant authorities to increase penalties and fees to support regulatory activities. Besides this, the Commission is also calling on licensed companies to honor their financial obligation to ensure adequate regulation in the sector. Board Chairman of the Commission, Professor John Gatti, has been speaking to journalists on the sidelines of the 24th Electrical Wiring Certification and Award Ceremony. Here's more.
Commission says the introduction of the electrical wiring regulation has trained and licensed over 18,000 electricians and inspectors as part of measures to improve upon standards in electrification. According to the board chairman, this together with other regulatory mandates have become critical as the nation progresses towards energy transition. Speaking to journalists after the graduation, he admonished stakeholders to pay their regulatory fees to empower the Commission to deliver promptly.
These are the monies we put together that we buy equipment for testing, to train our workers to become current on the job, to perform their duties of regulation more effectively and efficiently to the benefit of the economy and to the benefit of the country. So we need all those monies to be able to work. And we also want to use the media to announce to those who are not paying what they owe us. They are depriving us of procuring those important equipment for our work.
Executive Secretary of the Commission, Adwoa Bonzi, said the Commission will do more to ensure public safety across the country.
They look out for the right tools to work with. We have a lot of counterfeits in the system, which Energy Commission, by our mandates, always push and always advertise. If you go on our social media handles, and if you look at the outreach that we've done over the years, is to educate people, because everything is about education. Once people are educated, that when they are going to buy even ACs, now people actually look out for the stars, the energy efficiency stars. So for them, it's not just about getting certified, but also knowing what to look out for when they go into the market and what they are supposed to do.
The graduation was themed Training Today's Youth, Certifying Tomorrow's Electrical Experts.
That's all for business here on JN Today. I am Michelle Ejekum. Please do log on to myjoyonline.com for more business updates. We'll take a breather. When we're back, it's Showbiz. Thank you for staying. I am Loya Shalade, bringing you entertainment news happening in and around the world. Let's get into it. Now, Stonebwoy has opened up about a lesser-known chapter of his life, revealing that before his rise to stardom, he once considered pursuing a career in the military. In a recent interview, the award-winning artist shared that his admiration for discipline, structure, and the sense of duty associated with the armed forces made the idea of he becoming a soldier appealing. He noted that while music eventually became his chosen path, his early interests also included other respected professions.
And I believe that if I became a lawyer, it's prestigious. If I became a doctor, it also, but then I didn't. Personally, I would have loved to be a soldier as well, you know.
You're not scared?
No.
Fearless.
I just love the uniform.
Oh, okay.
And I love the discipline that comes with it. You see, like, it fascinates me, like, to be like a military.
Rigid.
Like, I love that because I'm one person who was grown like that. So I think the influence was right there. I love discipline. I love orderliness, you know, positivity aside everything.
Got you.
And so that would have been it for me. But my parents didn't actually push me or force me, but you know what I'm saying, especially my mom. As the days go along and times were changing and I was becoming what I was becoming, I mean, I had a little headache with my dad, you know what I'm saying, because for whatever reason at first, you know, but now it's what it is. You can't stop what it's supposed to be, you know. If I was to become a doctor, I'm not sure anybody could have stopped me. I would still have become doctor.
Where you are now.
Yeah.
I think something I was thinking about is when I was growing up, especially in the UK, there was a lot of stigma around how Africans viewed Caribbeans and how Caribbeans viewed Africans, right? Yeah. And so in the UK, there was a stereotype, I guess, and maybe that still exists to some degree, where Africans would look at Caribbeans like, or they all smoke weed, or they're not serious people, and Caribbeans probably viewed Africans as like, they're quite strict, you know, that there was that weird conflict of the two, right? And then here comes Stonebwoy saying he wants to make dancehall music in Ghana. What was that like when your parents first heard that you want to make this Caribbean this sound that originates or is hailed by the
As the weekend sets in, it's the perfect time for families to slow down, relax, and enjoy quality moments together. And what's better way to do that than with a good movie? With a variety of films currently topping charts on streaming platforms, there's no shortage of options that combine fun, adventure, and meaningful storytelling for all ages. From animated favorites to heartwarming classics, here are some movies the whole family can enjoy this weekend.
First, Kung Fu Panda 4 continues to win hearts with its mix of humor, action, and life lessons, making it a perfect choice for both kids and adults.
Tai Lung, big fan. Once I possess the kung fu of every master villain, no one will dare question my power.
Next, Migration offers a fun and adventurous story about a family of ducks stepping out of their comfort zone.
We're migrating. Migration? What a stupid idea.
Okay, you're impossible.
Because I found a safe place for us to live.
Wonka also remains a favorite, bringing a magical and heartwarming story that blends music, fantasy, and family values.
No daydreaming.
What are we gonna do, Willie? Meanwhile, Moana continues to trend with its inspiring story and unforgettable soundtrack, still loved by many.
You were gone forever.
It was 3 days. And
well, that's it for Showbiz. I am Lois Lademi. For more entertainment stories, please do log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is sports.
We'll bring you sports now on JoyNews today with me, Muftau Nabila Abda. We are 48 days away to the FIFA World Cup, and if you want to give your clients the best of experience, get in touch with March Hospitality Experience, because they are the only agency who have been authorized by FIFA to secure tickets for the semi-final and final of the FIFA World Cup that will be happening later this year. The semi-final will be happening on July 14 and 15, and the final will be on July 19. They've got a small batch of tickets, so get in touch with them to secure a ticket so that you can experience the semi-final and the final of the FIFA World Cup. Call them on 055-155-11119, 055-155-11119, or you can also email them sales@marchexphospitality.com, sales@marchexphospitality.com, or go to their website www.marchexphospitality.com and buy a ticket so that you can experience the World Cup. And also, if you want to go with Ghana to the tournament, get in touch with Latina Travel and Tour. You can call them on 0244-260-789 to secure your spot, or walk to their offices at Alisa Hotel, and they will take you through all the procedure you require to be able to grant you visas to go and watch the FIFA World Cup. On Thursday, the Ghana Football Association unveiled the head coach of the Black Stars, Carlos Queiroz. He says he's ready to bring all the experience he's acquired in the last 43 years of his coaching career to bear to ensure that Ghana succeed at the tournament.
I know since I arrived, I start to feel it, that this is the soul of the Black Stars. Yesterday, I saw and I feel the vibration, and I start to realize that the soul of the Black Stars, it is huge. It is huge. So that means that our dream and expectations are also huge. must say that after 8 national teams and a couple of important competitions, this is the biggest challenge of all my entire career. And I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. I can promise and guarantee to you that I will bring 40 years of my knowledge and experience to every single decision of Ghana. I am a coach, you can see in my CV, that fortunately with the help of God and my players, I have a symbolic record of wins in the game in terms of international games. And in a humble way, I can say I feel good on that. So I trust and I believe that with the support of my staff, support of the board, the support of the press, support of the friends and the fans, special, the supporters, all together, one Ghana, united with cohesion and with a lot of ambition, I believe and I trust that we can do it. We can bring success and happiness to the So, in a simple way, I can say to you, I feel ready. Are you ready also? Sorry, I didn't listen. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's do it together. Let's do it.
I hope he does change my mind.
Hopefully, he will do so for us.
Hopefully. Thank you very much. Well, that's how we end JoyNews today. It's been a pleasure serving you the news. There's more news on myjoyonline.com.
When Ghana faced the devastating no-birth syndrome crisis in 2018, the nation